Well, hi, Mander.
Hi.
How is you this evening?
Very tired. I just got back from a movie and it's just been a long day at work, but otherwise, I'm pretty good. How about you?
Good. I'm good. I'm good. Also very tired. But
Mhm.
hello everyone listening and watching. Welcome to another episode of the Neurodivergent Convergence podcast. I am your host, Nikki, one of them, Nikki, and this is the other one, Amanda. Hi, say hi, Amanda.
Hi, I'm the other one.
She's the other one.
Mhm.
And she's also sometimes here
Mhm. Yep.
every week.
Mhm.
So yeah, this is a podcast where we talk about neurodivergent shit and our experience with neurodivergent shit as two neurodivergent women with a cocktail of mental illnesses, a laundry list long. So yeah, hi.
I think
Um,
that was the record for soonest that we said the
yeah,
podcast name.
and
So,
most concise intro at that.
yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We didn't babble for like 20 minutes and be like, oh yeah, by the way, this is what you're listening to, and this is why. Hi, hello, yeah, uh-huh. Anyway, this is another no make episode for me because I don't have the fucking spoons for it today. We'll get into it later, but let's do a little catching up. It's been a little bit of a minute. Let's do a little catch up. And then we will start the show with fun and fuckery per usual. We usually start our shows with a Mad Lib and an AI story. We're going to continue that today. We are going to hear from Jeremy again and his latest adventures in our AI story. And then we have more from our Pokemon Mad Lib. We get to meet Team Rocket today. But before we do, before we go any further, what movie did you go see?
I went to go see the Marvels.
The Marvels.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. How was it?
It
No
was pretty
spoilers,
good.
but how was it?
It was pretty good. It wasn't the best, but I this is gonna be bad to say. I kind of low expectations because I know like a lot of people were even before it came out like ragging on it, but
Yeah, that's what Jordan
I
said.
just I just I just like the MCU. So I
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. The new girl, the new Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, she I think carried the movie because she was cute the entire time, but so I really enjoyed her.
Oh, good. That's great. That's wonderful. I'm glad you enjoyed it and your money was not wasted because movies aren't fucking cheap anymore.
I mean, when we
Um,
go, it's like $6 a ticket. So we purposely go on Tuesdays.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm just preparing to leave for Florida. By the time y'all are listening to this, I've already done been and come back from Florida. Unless some strange thing happens in which I don't return, which I hope that's not real life.
And
I
when
should
and
be
when
home.
they and when they listen to this, I will be in North Carolina. So
Oh, tell me more. I didn't light our candle. Tell me more about why go North Carolina?
next week for Thanksgiving, my
Oh, fun.
dad, my dad's sister lives in North Carolina, so we're flying out next Wednesday and then flying back next Saturday. So
Okay, fun.
next Thursday will be Thanksgiving, but I will be in North Carolina.
Yeah. So, about that, I haven't really said anything about it yet to you, but I feel like we should probably either two options. We can either record extra before then, or we can skip a week. It's up to you. We do have a bonus episode out that sort of pads us for, you know, as far as like keeping in line with numbers and shit. I feel like if we needed to skip a week, we could absolutely skip a week during the holidays,
Mm-hmm.
but it's up to you. So if you don't want to make that decision right now, we don't have to. But I just wanted to mention it while I was thinking about it. But anyway, uh, we'll let you know one way or the other whether we're going to skip a week or if you'll hear from us again. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to Florida to see my mom and my grandparents. It's just me and the boys going. Jordan's going to stay home with the dog because we don't want to pay thousands of dollars to board her. So, and I'm actually looking forward to going. My sister and the baby are going with me. So we're flying all together, which is nice. She'll meet me at the airport. We're going to travel in a nice little pack. So, It'll be good. I'll get to spend good time with my sister and my niece, who I never see, even though we're only 3 hours away from each other.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, my sister actually lives down by Minder. So
Mhm. Yep. And my brother's gonna be is in town um next or this Thursday and Friday. And so I'm gonna go over. He's helping my mom. My brother lives in Florida, so we kind of like have family in Florida and
mhm.
just everywhere. So my brother drove up from Florida to up near not near Chicago, kind of like on the other side of the state of Chicago, like to the west of Chicago, to see his dad for a week. And
Okay,
so he stayed up with my mom for a night, helped her with some stuff, and then that was last week. And now he's uh today or tomorrow driving back. I'm gonna be at my
gotcha.
mom's to finish helping stuff up. They're like completely cleaning out her shed and everything, and we've
Oh
been
my.
working on the upstairs. So the upstairs is completely transformed. My mom, when she moved to this house, she kind of just threw everything up there and didn't touch it for 4 years.
Oh
So
my.
so yeah, so she's been like very studiously, that's not the right word, but that's the only word I got, studiously getting rid of stuff. So she's
Gotcha.
basically pulling a U on herself.
Okay.
So yeah.
Good for you, Curlin. Good for you.
Mhm.
I'm glad. I'm glad for it. Getting rid of the extra shit's always good. Leave space for good shit. Yeah, hence my packing and planning is thrown up on my dresser back here. So just ignore this. Again, didn't have the spoons to take it out of frame. That's where we're at today. I mean, I'm like mentally preparing myself for travel. So like I was off today, which I don't know why I was off work today, but I'm not mad about it because I needed yawn. Sorry. I needed this day to just do a lot of nothing and then follow the dopamine as it like told me to do things. So
As
like
it
I just
presented itself.
yeah. Oh my god, I just like threw up in my mouth. That was gross. I burped and it like I just drank some water so it like came back up. Gross. Sorry guys. You got to watch that shit in real time. I'm leaving that in. I don't care. Um so like I just took the kids to school and then I came back home and I literally put new pajamas on. I have these really cool, like all black ones that have like a skeleton like outline on them. I got them at the children's place one year. They do those family Halloween jammies or whatever. And I ordered them one year because I wanted to. And I put those on. They're huge and like oversized. And I got in my bed. Oh, no, I didn't. I made myself coffee and a bagel and I went to my living room, which I never sit in because everyone's always in it. And I just don't want everyone all the time. But no one was in my house. So I got to go to my living room. I got to sit on the couch, on my couch, on Gloria the Green couch that I paid a lot of money for and watch my very large television that I also paid a lot of money for in peace in my living room, drinking my hot coffee and eating my bagel, and it was joyous, and I enjoyed it very much. And then I got enough dopamine from that to be able to start packing and
Mm-hmm.
planning. So that worked out. And also, while I was sitting there, I jumped on over to TikTok and did a thing, which by now you're hearing this. I don't know how many fucking views it's going to have. But as of recording, are you ready to hear how many fucking views this TikTok has? Are you ready
Yep.
for this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me refresh it. Hold please. I duetted a TikTok today of I'm gonna link the name of the creator because I think their name is Jesse. We are now at 8,975 views.
So almost 9,000.
Yes. Uh yes. And this was interesting to say the least because it was like literally the most relatable shit I have ever seen on here. And I've never done a duet before on a video or a stitch or anything. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to duet this shit and react to it and just put it on our page and see what happens. I was expecting nothing because like the most views I think we've ever gotten on one of our TikToks is like 817. And it was a thing of Ella, the video of Ella that I did. And so like nothing has ever gone this far, like not even close. That was the closest to 1,000 we've ever been. And then now all of a sudden it's got like 714 likes. There's 23 comments, 79 saves, and almost 9,000 fucking views. And I just did this morning at like 9 o'clock. So it was crazy. But yeah, I did that. So if you want to see that TikTok, I guess I'll link it maybe, or you can just go over to our TikTok, which is at the NDC podcast on TikTok. Go do that and you can see it. But the creator's name, let me find.
And full disclosure, like I'm basically a boomer when it comes to TikTok. Like I will watch TikToks that people like send me, but as far as like creating them or anything else, commenting, liking, whatever, I just don't.
Yeah, this is from the name on TikTok is at JAII dot the letter BEE. And their name, like spelt like the top of it says JB. If you're mid, stay mad. I don't know what that really means, but they're really funny. They're Canadian. And yeah,
I've heard that that's like, as like a like lingo slang, as the kids say.
Yeah,
that's such a mid.
That shit.
But I will say.
But here, this is good. It's going to be way too bright to see this, but do that thing that doesn't work with phones, I guess. No. But anyway, we'll link it.
My only experience with the term mid is, this is kind of like, not that haven't been outed as a nerd already, but watching like these Pokemon videos and like these guys, full grown men, granted they're like, my age, maybe like late 20s, early 30s, and they'll like compare Pokemon. They'll do like a randomizer where they have to like play some sort of challenge or game, and then they battle with the Pokemon that they pick. But anyway, a lot of them will go, that's such a mid Pokemon. They're like, yeah, these are all mid. Like that's a mid Mon. I'm like,
okay, well, should we be boomers and figure out what this name means? What does mid mean?
I think like mediocre. Like that's what I feel like. Mediocre, okay. It's not terrible, it's not great. Speaking of gray hair.
Yeah, it says the slang mid is used to describe something or someone as below average or low quality. This is so bad that we have to boomer our way through fucking slang because we don't understand it. We're officially the kind of millennial that doesn't get what the children say. Like, that I feel like I'm gonna crumble and poof away.
It doesn't help really that, like, it doesn't help the internet. Like, we didn't have the internet when we were kids. Like, the internet was around, but we didn't use it for like social media and stuff. So like our slang was organic in the fact that like it just had to trickle in, had to start from the coast and then trickle in to us.
Right. Or it came from TV shows. Like,
where now it's like
or some weird kid said on the playground, and then you just adapted it into your life.
Like the slang I understand now from the children went out of style like 3 months ago. So
I know.
I can't keep up.
I still don't know what base means. I have no idea what base means. Or based. That's based. When someone says something is based, I don't know what that means.
I think it means good.
Okay, now we're gonna find out. It does seem good because usually it's in a good way. Now we're gonna Urban Dictionary this. What? Oh God, we're such fucking boomers. What does?
Hey, at least we know how to Google. Okay, we got that going for us. We know how to
based mean. We could do an entire fucking show just on learning this lingo.
You're gonna start getting like Facebook ads of AARP and
of the slang for dummies, like slang for dummy, Urban Dictionary for dummies. What does the slang based mean? The term based on the internet typically means agreement, and social media and forum users commonly use it to express approval or admiration.
See, that was good. The origins, that means good.
Yeah, the origins of this slang term, I can't even fucking talk, can be traced back to its popularization. That was difficult to say. by rapper Brandon Lil B McCartney, also known as the Based God. Okay.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Sure.
I don't know who Lil B is. I don't know who Brandon McCartney is. I don't know what that fucking means. I'm old, bitch. Okay, I'm old. Anyway, that's going to be a really good one to fucking clip out. Oh my God.
So I
We
guess
are
we should
old.
actually start.
Yeah, we
The
really
thing.
should. Like, I mean, we really should. We're like we're it's many minutes in at this point.
Sorry,
Being old
sorry
as
everyone.
fuck.
You need a road.
Anyway.
You need a roadmap to follow our conversations.
Oh my God, for real.
Sometimes.
This is the neurodivergent convergence podcast. We are two squirrel brains meeting and trying to do some shit. Of course, there's going to be this shit happening. Okay. Okay. These people know what to expect at this point. All right. Jesus Christ. This is what they come here for in reality. They don't give a fuck about the autism shit or the neurodivergent shit. They just want to hear us be stupid. Okay. Okay.
Well, they get plenty of that.
Yes, they do. Okay, let's move on. Let's actually start the show. AI story first.
We can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me find my subtitles. And if you too cannot hear without your subtitles, I invite you. God damn it! I invite you to take a pause, and go on to the show. No, not the show notes. The show notes. Yeah, the show notes. Show notes if you're listening. Description or probably pinned comment if it'll let me do it in the pinned comment because I don't think we have enough clout yet on YouTube to do it in the description. Anyway, there's a Google Doc is what I'm trying to say to you. There's a fucking Google Doc, okay, and it's got this story in it, okay. So if you can't hear without subtitles, go get your subtitles. It's linked in either probably the pinned comment on YouTube or it's definitely in our show notes on anywhere else you listen to podcasts, but for sure on Spotify. So go get them, go get it, and then come on. And then Amanda's going to read. Okay. If you need to pause it, pause it. But here we go.
Okay. So before this, basically the Crom and Jeremy told the unicorn, who apparently Crom is his uncle.
Who didn't know that was his nephew, I guess. I don't know. Nephew, I'm assuming.
That's what I said. He said Uncle Crom at the beginning. So basically they need to go find a magical realm. Magic to get magic from the magical realm for a ritual. So the sentence given was the unicorn promises Uncle Crom that he would find more magic. Jeremy the second cat decided to go with him to make sure everything went according to the ritual. Okay. In the middle of the night, Jeremy the second cat went to visit his human friend Fido and was attacked by Shadow the hedgehog. Shadow had been looking for his friend Pebbles, but not realizing that he had run away from home, he returned to Fido's place. The small creature was taken to see Dr. Strange, who advised him to back off from his human friend. But because Shadow was lonely, he sneaked away again, sneaking into the Celestial Observatory. This is where the next part of the story picks up. The young Shadow met the hippo Ned, and they were instantly friends.
I'm sorry.
I'm thinking, do they mean Ned from, Spider-Man's best friend, Ned? He's a husky boy, but I don't know if you want to call him a hippo.
There's so many characters.
There's gonna be so many names. I don't read ahead, okay? But there's gonna be so many names. That's why I tried keeping it short. Anyway.
Okay.
So, also, this is where the next part of the story picks up. The young Shadow met the hippo Ned, and they were instantly friends. He also met his other friend, Ronan, and quickly became good friends with him as well. Ronan was the son of another friend of Pebbles, Goofy. Goofy asked the newly born Shadow to join him in a secret project where they would try to turn himself into a giant. Both of them managed to finish the project, but Goofy had fallen asleep and didn't wake up. Shadow realized that this was his chance to make his own way in the world, so he used his powers to magically open a portal. He knew he would probably get into trouble if he wasn't careful, but Goofy promised to save him if he ever got into trouble. Shadow was being chased by evil sorcerer Madame Razzle, who thought that the little creature was her father, but it turned out that he was an imposter. The real father was Baron Zemo, and he had been murdered by the dragon.
The dragon's back! Shit!
Oh, God.
The dragon's back!
The elf, Captain Britain, and his dragon, Darksmith, saved Shadow and took him back to his home in England, where he and his mother stayed for a while. Baron Zemo was found out and defeated by Captain Britain, and they ended up in jail. Shadow, on the other hand, was given the throne of Rokand. Rokand is a land where the Fomorians, a race of giant people, lived. The only place where the Fomorians had any contact with humans was the land of Borsa. The unicorn had vowed to the Lady of the Lake that he would find the magical key that would help him reach Borsa. The unicorn and his little companion, Jeremy the Second Cat, were attacked by Man-Bat, Catman, and
Sorry. That did it for me. Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going.
The unicorn and his little companion, Jeremy the Second Cat, were attacked by Man-Bat, Catman, and Darksmith, who were also after the magic key. Could this key be what Crom, the mage, needs for the magic ritual? Or could it be another magic staff that could grant him eternal life or undo his death at the hands of Bigby Wolf? The unicorn told the heroes about the Fomorians, and as they were leaving Shadow, decided to stay in England for a while. He decided to travel around on a skateboard. If the magic staff had been used by Crom, it could change things. But even if Crom used the staff in his rituals, it didn't mean that the wizard was able to complete the magic spell and become a god. Baron Zemo may be a threat, and he could be after the staff of Borsa, but it doesn't necessarily mean he'd get it. There are other magical staffs around. Perhaps the unicorn will play a big role in Captain Britain's story. The book isn't complete yet, but hopefully he will come back soon.
Jesus Christ almighty.
I have no idea what like we just went to the multiverse. Just no copyright. No copyright.
Actual fuck. Like, oh my god. Shadow the Hedgehog, Doctor Strange, Pebbles from fucking Goofy. We have so many fucking like
Baron Zemo.
I don't know who that is, if that's even a real character. Madame Razzle, who's an evil sorcerer. Jesus Christ. And then the fucking dragon's back from the original like painting of the Darksmith is the dragon's name. Jesus Christ. And then Man-Bat, because it can't be Batman.
And Catman.
We've stolen literally every other fucking character directly from the fucking stories, but you can't call it Batman. It's got to be Man-Bat. Jesus Christ. So,
side note, my dad talks in his sleep. And one time, which I do too, but one time I was at his house and he had fallen asleep. He was taking a nap in his recliner like an old man. And all of a sudden, he just goes, no, Catman. I wish I had it on video, but I cracked up and I laughed so hard. I woke him up. My dad is a hard sleeper. We still reference that to this day.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. That made me yawn. Okay.
You're welcome.
Do you want to talk about your anonymity real quick before we forget?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, so every week we talk about we reference the document of Google who assigns Amanda an anonymous something every week because she's not like she's signed in, but it doesn't believe her. So it gives her some anonymous something or other to show up as in our document for some reason. So we have two, one for our AR stories and one for our keep all our fucking thoughts together shit. This week in the AI story document, Amanda is an anonymous Aurochs. That's what we decided it says that way, right? Aurochs.
Aurochs, like Aurora.
Yes, which I had to figure out was an extinct. It's an extinct like bovine cow thing. So it looks like a big ass Texas, a big ass bull, like a big ass Texas Longhorn that's like as tall as a fucking man. Okay, it's a big motherfucking extinct ass bull. And then we have in the ideas document, we have an anonymous platypus. So what you won't be?
I mean, I love platypi, platypuses, but this is a new one, the aurochs, so I'm gonna pick that.
Okay, the aurochs. Got it. So you're an anonymous aurochs today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I believe, ma'am, we are ready for our Mad Lib. Yes.
Sorry, I keep messing with my hair. It's bugging the shit out of me. Okay. Um. First, I need a verb.
Eject.
Eject.
Is that a verb? To eject
Eject.
something?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't. I was making sure I heard you. Eject. Another verb.
Undulate.
I just will always think of Stranger Things. I can never undulate. Sure, that looks correct. A place.
Okay, this is definitely not going to fit in the line.
Mm-hmm.
So just prepare yourself.
Sure.
It's a full sentence.
Okay.
The back of one of those vans with a
Back?
sci-fi scene painted on it.
The back of one of those vans with the sci-fi scene.
Yeah, with a sci-fi scene painted on it. Like, like they have sometimes there's like a wizard riding a unicorn or like space or something painted on the van.
Painted.
Insert your version of van here.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You're like, Jesus Christ.
Okay. I hope I can read that when time comes. Adjective.
Glimmering.
Ever.
Forcefully.
Part of the body.
Clavicle. Because I like saying it.
And the coccyx. That's another funny one. Coccyx. Mm-hmm. Noun.
Alpaca.
Alpaca. Actually, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Adjective.
Ungodly.
Celebrity.
Pee-wee Herman. Herman.
That. Oh boy. Okay. Noun.
Bic lighter.
A Zippo lighter. A Bic lighter. Adjective.
Blistering.
Oh, we're getting alliterative here. Verb.
Scream.
What?
Scream.
Scream. You cut out.
Oh.
Scream. Adjective.
Distasteful.
Verb ending in ing.
Jousting.
Color.
Mustard yellow.
Ew. And last, noun.
A B-rated horror film.
B-rated horror film. One that I always recommend to people that is definitely, well, it's probably more like D-rated, is Zombievers. Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Zombievers.
It's these, like, for what I remember, Mark and I watched it. It was on Netflix. I don't think it's on Netflix anymore. Maybe it is. I don't know. But it was when Mark lived with me, and we were just perusing through the Netflix, the flit of next, net. Oh my god, flicks of net. Jesus Christ. And we just came across this one called Zombievers, and we're like, what the hell? And neither of us are horror fans, but we're like, this looks stupid enough to not be scary. We were correct. It was R-rated, but basically these like college kids, it's always like teens, college kids,
yeah,
they're having the sex, so they gotta die. So they're like on a lake, and then I don't remember how the beavers got to be zombies, but they did. And then so they just tore everything up, and so they had to hide in the cabin. The beavers attacked the cabin. It was great.
So. Oh my god. Okay, sure.
And
Why not?
I'm not a zombie person either. I don't really typically like the only zombie movie I care for is like Warm Bodies and Zombieland are probably the only ones.
Gotcha.
Anyways, okay. So the today is called Meet Team Rocket.
Okay.
If you're going to train and eject Pokemon, you'd better know about Team Rocket. Team Rocket's goal is to undulate Pokemon for profit.
God.
And to gain domination in the back of one of those vans with a sci-fi scene painted on it.
Oh no!
Free candy, kids. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh
Were they
no!
undulating Pokemon? Nope.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Okay.
Although there are many members, the ones you need to know are Jesse, James, and Meowth. They may seem funny or glittering at first, but don't take their power forcefully. Jessie, with her long clavicle and her alpaca-type Pokemon, is known for her ungodly anger. James is a master of disguise, dressing up as Professor Oak, Pee Wee Herman, or even a bush, or a Bic lighter. Meowth wants to please his blistering boss, Giovanni, and will scream or steal Pokemon to do it. So, if you see a few distasteful characters jousting around Pallet Town wearing a mustard yellow uniform with a big red R, you know you've encountered Teen B-rated horror film.
That was funny. The first sentence was scary, but yeah.
The fact
Okay.
that it's James, who's already a creep, dressed
Yes.
up as Pee Wee Herman in a van undulating Pokemon.
Yes. Yeah. All of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
And I mean, some people might be too young, but there was a time where Pee Wee Herman, the guy that plays him, was disgraced
Yes.
for what he was doing in public in a theater. So
Yes.
you can
Yes.
Google that all you want.
Yeah. I don't recommend Googling it.
Okay.
Anyway, so we are here today to yawn in your face. We're here today to start a series.
We all gathered here today.
Yeah. We all gathered here today to start a series called like the what is insert neurodivergent shit here. Okay. This time around, we're going to start with autism. We're going to start the what is autism series. And we sort of decided we're going to break this up into like very small bites so that we have a lot of time to kind of like give our opinion on it and go from there. So we figured we'd start with the basics. What is the definition of autism per several different websites? So we're going to kind of take a snippet from each one of these websites as to how they define it. Yeah, how they define it. And then we will weigh in on that matter. And then next time around, we will move on to a different part of autism, like maybe causes or something like that. We'll kind of decide as we go. But we're going to break down autism into several different episodes because it's not just something you can just like, yeah, this is autism, one and done, right? So we're starting a series. So today we're starting with how autism is defined by the medical community. And then we're going to weigh in on how we feel about those definitions. Okay. Let me get over here real quick. Get to our first one. Let's do Mayo Clinic first, Aminder.
Okay.
And then I will read since you just did a lot of reading. Okay. So I literally just Googled autism. Actually, let me just share my screen. That's what we'll do. I'll just share my screen. This is what it say on Mayo Clinic. So, overview: autism spectrum disorder is a condition related to brain development that impacts how a person perceives and socializes with others, causing problems in social interaction and communication. The disorder also includes limited and repetitive patterns of behavior. The term spectrum in autism spectrum disorder refers to the wide range of symptoms and severity. Okay. Next is World Health Organization. This is what they have to say. Autism spectrum disorders, ASD, are a diverse group of conditions. So they're saying this is a diverse group of conditions, period. They are characterized by some degree of difficulty with social interaction. God damn it. And communication, because the people who are communicating yawn every 5 fucking seconds. Other characteristics are atypical patterns of activities and behaviors, such as difficulty with transition from one activity to another, a focus on details, and unusual reactions to sensations. The abilities and needs of autistic people vary and can evolve over time. While some people with autism can live independently, others have severe disabilities and require lifelong care and support. Autism often has an impact on education and employment opportunities. In addition, the demands on families providing care and support can be significant. Societal attitudes and the level of support provided by local and national authorities are important factors determining the quality of life of people with autism. Characteristics of autism may be detected in early childhood, but autism is often not diagnosed until much later. People with autism often have co occurring conditions, including epilepsy, depression, anxiety, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, as well as challenging behaviors such as difficulty sleeping and self injury. The level of intellectual functioning among autistic people varies widely, extending from profound impairment to superior levels. Okay, so that's World Health Organization.
I can read the
Jesus.
next ones if you want.
Yeah, go for it, because clearly I can't read anything. Let me stop my share here. Okay.
I won't read this whole thing. But it said autism spectrum disorder is a developmental disability caused by differences in the brain. Some people with ASD have a known difference, such as a genetic condition. Other causes are not yet known. Scientists believe there are multiple causes of ASD that act together to change the most common ways people develop. We still have much to learn about these causes and how they impact people with ASD. I'm gonna skip that because that doesn't really tell about the sign. Signs and symptoms. People with ASD often have problems with social communication and interaction and restricted or repetitive behaviors or interests. People with ASD may also have different ways of learning, moving, or paying attention. These characteristics can make life very challenging. It is important to know that some people without ASD might also have some of these symptoms. That's not vague at all. Okay. How do I... There we go. Like, let me not. And then the last one is from, the bar went down. There we go. Can I click? Nope. Let's just close these so I can click on the bar. Okay. So this is Cleveland Clinic. I thought this was interesting because I was like reading it earlier. Autism spectrum disorder, ASD, is a neurodevelopmental disease typically diagnosed during childhood. The former name of ASD is autism, and many people still use the term. But ASD includes several conditions within the spectrum. ASD changes the way your child interacts and communicates. There's no cure for autism, but the symptoms may lessen over time. It's a developmental disability caused by differences in your child's brain. People with ASD may behave, interact, and learn in ways that are different from other people. They may have trouble with social interactions and with interpreting and using nonverbal and verbal communication. So first of all, I find it interesting that they just kind of like focus on children on this one. Like might just be like this. Here's a like a tool for parents. It might just be that sort of thing. So there we go.
Cool. So the reason why I wanted to do the reason why I wanted to do multiple different definitions is because I feel like with each one we read, we got a little bit of something else, like a little bit of something extra. It's like the first one was like incredibly, God damn it. I don't know why I'm so yawny tonight. It's incredibly concise and to the point, right? Like this is what it is, done. And then I feel like surprisingly, the one that gave us the most information was the World Health Organization, like gave us all sorts of stuff. And then we just kind of got a little bit of different parts out of each one. So how do you feel? Not so much as like, I don't want to be like, let's debate this shit. Not really. It's just more of like, do you feel Like if you were a rando person Googling, what is this? That those things would give you enough information or that they're accurate enough to portray what autism is? Or do you feel like they're missing something?
It's like so far, like obviously because it's an overview, it's basically a synopsis of everything. Like if you go down each page, it's going to give signs, symptoms, whatever.
Right.
So as an overview, like if someone literally like when you Google that and that's probably like the one paragraph that comes up for them, it's very broad, which you know it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be super detailed in an overview.
Right.
It is very broad. Um, like the Cleveland one, even though mostly focused on children, at least in the overview, it just says may behave, interact, or learn in ways that differ from other people. It's like, well, yeah, but that's everybody off and on the spectrum. Like
Right.
everyone behaves and interacts differently than other people.
Right.
Like the most neurotypical person's gonna behave or interact differently than people than another neurotypical person. So
Right.
that's why it's just, like I said, it's very broad, which I understand why. It's just like here's a 2-3 sentence thing about this like very
Very, yeah,
encompassing,
expansive.
yeah, expansive and like detailed disorder. So
Right.
so I get it. I'm not saying like they should have written like why how dare you not write an entire essay for your overview. It's like it's a thesis basically. So
Right.
I'm not mad about it. I'm just that's how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's interesting that each one added a little bit more to like the definition. Like, for example, I'm not going to screen share again, but like this one with the WHO, I feel like gave the most information as far as like how it ranges and the fact that there's other co-occurring conditions that could be in there as well, the fact that it could be detected in early childhood but is often not diagnosed until much later. That is not something I feel like I've heard a lot. Like you said, most of them were geared
Mm-hmm.
towards kids, right? Like I feel like the World Health Organization like really has like more some more detail to give. Like I feel like if you're going to read it anywhere so far, I feel like this one gives the most broad like the broadest here's what you need to know but like condensed. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I feel like it gave the best so far definition in a condensed package, is
I
what I'm trying to say.
I will say when you were reading the Mayo Clinic one, your screen share had an ad. Because like I have an extra like your overview. Oh, now it says my internet connection is unstable. Like for you, there was a paragraph and then the ad, but then for me, it's actually like 4 paragraphs is their overview. So I don't know. Like if you look at Mayo Clinic and scroll past the ad on your page, theirs
Yeah,
is
yeah.
longer.
I just
It's still
wanted to
more
do
geared
like
towards children.
yeah, I just wanted to read like the top little bit of it because I didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
get too far into it, but I do see where it says that it included conditions that were previously considered separate, like autism, Asperger's syndrome, and then childhood disintegrative disorder, and an unspecified form of pervasive developmental disorder, which it isn't that is an antiquated term for sure. But
Yeah, I don't think anyone uses Asperger's because the history of it. But
yeah,
the
which we could do a whole episode on that because I'm so intrigued by all of that. It's like I don't really understand it enough to have any kind of opinion on it. So I want to dig a little deeper. But
yeah, I knew like one person in school, um, and just like side note, it was this guy that I moved schools between like third and fourth grade. So I went to a new school in fourth grade. Well, it was like my third elementary school, fourth elementary school. But the went to a new school and there was a guy who walked on his tiptoes, and I'd never seen anything like that. And so I remember getting in trouble because I genuinely asked, and this is a, at the time, I'm like, I'm still technically undiagnosed, but it's like I'm asking a question that I think is valid, but comes off as rude. I asked him, "Oh, are you in ballet?" Because he was just walking on his tiptoes, and I've never seen anyone walk on their tiptoes
Right. I mean,
like
that's a
before. And
kid
then they're
question to ask.
yeah,
Like,
and then they're like, "Oh, he has Asperger's." So, and like, of course, being 10 years old, I had no idea what the fuck Asperger's was. But
right,
so
right.
even in the late 90s, that was still a term being used. I think it's only like recent, like the past 5 years, maybe 10 years, that they stopped using
Yeah.
that term. But so yeah, like we said, like a lot of these are just focused on children, which makes sense. But um, I thought of a good. I don't know. This might be going into the rabbit hole. Like you make this another part, like the whole vaccines cause autism thing. It's like,
We're gonna do a causes. Yeah, we're gonna do a causes
mm-hmm,
and myths. We're gonna do a myths episode for sure. Like I want to do myths and misconceptions for sure.
mm-hmm.
So we'll definitely get into that. But yeah, I feel like we get into terminology a little bit if you want to for a second, because I think this isn't it's kind of something that goes in with like what is this, but like it's saying like there used to be these other terms for what is now considered ASD or autism spectrum disorder. So I guess just autism used to be a thing, and now they're saying it's a
Like
spectrum disorder.
yeah, I'm still gonna call it autism. It's just easier to
Same,
say. It's like if I
same.
say ASD, so people are gonna be like, "What the fuck does that mean?" Or
Right,
autism spectrum
right,
disorder is such a mouthful. So like
right,
autism's right there in the name. So I'm just gonna
right.
call it autism. So
Exactly. So, I mean, I feel like we could get way into that. Maybe we'll just do a whole terminology episode where it's like we'll discuss the terminology, we'll discuss like the nicknames and why it pisses people off, and we'll go through all that shit in its own episode, I think. Anything else that is kind of jumping out at you that you liked, didn't like, or like, I don't know about that. Anything else?
well, like I said, when you sent me these links before we started recording, I said the CDC has a definition, which I mean, it's a health organization, but it's also like the Center for Disease Control has a definition of autism. Why?
Yeah,
uh,
I don't
but
know,
let's
but
see.
they have lots of information on it. So, um it's definitely something they looked into, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't know. So, it's on there.
Yeah, because like seeing because we just touched on the overview and not really the um I like the Cleveland Clinic because obviously, like, this is the one that focuses mainly on children. I just one of the definition or autism means your child may have, and one of them is intense or unusual interests. I think like all children are weird, so um, I feel like unusual in what way?
Right.
Like kids that collect rocks. Like okay, yeah,
Or the
it's
kid
like
with the dinosaur phase. Maybe the dinosaur phase
yeah.
just goes on a little bit too long.
Yeah, that wears nothing but like his Batman costume for like,
Right.
3 weeks straight. It's just
Yeah.
I'm to me that's okay, intense or unusual interest. It's like kids can get I don't know, kids are like I said, kids are just weird. So
Right.
whether they're have autism or not. Um so the other ones I think make sense. That's just the only one that stuck out at me was the unusual interest one. Everything
Yeah.
else for at least for the Cleveland Clinic looks not correct, but just
Yeah.
on par.
Yeah.
Um,
So, how would you define autism? Like, if someone were to ask you, like, what is autism? Like, how would you define that?
I guess similar to what how they define it, that developmental disorder. It's like I don't feel like I developed any slower than anyone else, so I don't really think of it that way. It's just basically my autism makes me feel like I'm just fucking awkward. Like autism is just awkwardness to me.
Yeah.
So for just to make it really short and sweet, but it's more like sorry, I lost my train of thought. My ADHD is taking over. The ADHD is taking over the autism part. But the wow, I just
Yep. It
it's
it hit
gone.
just hit your
It's gone.
tism with the 1-2 punch.
Yep, yep. It was a battle royale, and the ADHD won out.
Do you need me to
uh,
take over while you
yeah,
grasp
go.
your thought?
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. Go
If
ahead.
if you grasp your thought, just interrupt me so you don't forget it again.
Okay. Okay.
Um, so for me, good god damn it. I hate it. I
You're not
hate it
even
so
wearing the
much.
pants.
I know it's I don't know what's happening tonight. I think I'm honestly just tired. Um anyway, if someone were to ask me like what is autism, I would say that probably understood. It's a spectrum disorder that affects age appropriate functionality in all aspects of that person's life.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, a typical 32-year-old person, right, should be able to drive a car, fix their own meals, live in their own home, hold a job, maybe at least complete high school, like be able to function, right, as a normal, quote unquote, normal 32-year-old human, right? But when you have autism, your functionality in various aspects of life is affected in one way or another. So that 32-year-old with autism could be able to speak very well, but might not be able to have like a schedule or like live on their own because they have to be reminded to brush their teeth, right? Their basic human care tasks, their functionality in that area of life is lower, but their verbal functioning is perfectly fine, right? Like, and that looks different for every single person. It's not going to present the same way for everyone.
Or like this is also an outdated term, and we can get into it another time. Like the whole idiot savant thing, where
Yeah,
you got the person that's like an absolute genius in physics or calculus or something, but they don't know how to interact socially. Like it's
right.
usually in like movies, it's usually like, my God, he's a genius. Because it's like, but
Yeah.
he never talks. It's like, but look at him, he's 5 years old and he's already as smart as Einstein. And
Doogie
so
Howser, MD.
yeah,
Doogie Howser, MD. Doogie Howser.
um,
Oh no!
but
Oh no!
no, but the like I said, the whole like another term, like I said, idiot savant, where it's like this whole quiet person that it might scream sometimes or just doesn't verbalize at all, whatever, but then all of a sudden, they're able to just instantly play the piano. Like they just
Right,
know how the piano works, whatever. So that's like an extreme form.
right.
But so like it's like you said, it's like a wheel. There's just different aspects. It's kind of like, I wish I could remember the type of graph it is. It's like when you take a test, what the first thing I popped in mind was Enneagram, but that's not correct. I know it's not. And so I remember like taking some sort of like, I don't know if it was a personality test. I maybe it been like a career test, like career aptitude test, where basically the results were a wheel, and then like around the wheel was like um say things like manufacturing, teaching, whatever, and
Oh,
then
okay.
but the aspects of that, and then it'll like go whoop, like when towards like when you're higher in this or higher in this, and so like the closer it is to the center, like the lower you are for that kind of job, and so it kind of reminded me of
Okay.
that. So it's like a circle, but then it's like, oh, you'd be really good at being like a tour guide, but not very good at being a doctor or
Right.
whatever, and so it would just kind of show different aspects of fields, like job
Yeah.
fields. And so that's what it reminded me of. So when you say, I know what the wheel you're talking about, but that's what I picture.
Yeah. So I feel like what we're both kind of finding here is it is a little harder to define than we thought. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to concisely define that because you can, but you're leaving out so much that's important for someone to understand. You
Well,
know what I
that's
mean?
the
Like,
that's the human experience. It's like trying to define a human
right,
in 3 sentences. Any human,
right,
just any human. Like trying to define someone's personality, someone's mental state, someone's anything in
right,
3 sentences. So
right.
like I said, not mad at their like definition of their overview, whatever. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's an overview, it's a synopsis. So the um it's just because people are complex.
yeah.
Um and then this is a complex condition
Right.
disorder, then it just so it's not like I said, not like we disagree with their definition. It's just very broad.
Yeah. And we'll argue disorder and all that shit in our terminology thing, but it just is physiologically your brain is just different. Like it's physiologically different. It does things differently because it grew different that way. Like it grew that way. It just didn't you didn't it can be developed.
I was born this way, bitch.
But like I was born this way, bitch. Like I didn't just catch the tism. You can't catch the tism. You're born with it. Like it's there. Like you can't catch it. You can't, which is why I thought it was weird that it was on the CDC's website, because like you can't catch the tism. Like you can't, it's not a communicable disease. Like you can't be catching it. But like
it's not like they have a strain of it, under lock and key in Atlanta, like where it might go out and become airborne. Oh no.
Right. Like and we'll get into it with like causes, but you're, spoiler alert, you're fucking born with it. Okay. It's what happens. But it's just what happens in your brain, how it forms. So, I mean, I feel like that's probably a good place to stop, because I feel like we are sort of treading into other episode territory here where we want to get into more of these things. But I think the general consensus here is that it is not easily defined in a concise way. It is almost impossible to concisely define what autism is, even when we're autistic people trying to explain it. Like, it's like, I can't just say autism is XYZ. In the most simplistic terms, yes, it's technically a neurodevelopmental disorder. That is how it is categorized. However, it's so fucking much more than that, right? And we'll unpack that over the next several episodes, however long this takes us to fucking get there. Amanda, thoughts?
Yes. I already gave all my thoughts. What do you
She's like, no, not on the spot. Jesus, can't do that to me. I can't. I can't be put on the spot.
That piece is very small. On the wheel, that piece is a sliver, ma'am.
Shit, spotlight's on me. Hide.
Yeah.
That activates her flee response immediately. Immediately,
like
flee.
My fight, flight, or freeze, and it's like freeze instantly. Then
freeze and then flee. Then flee. Yes, just and then slowly
or faint, like a fainting goat. Just
goat. And she's out. Yep. just you just ever see Amanda just go stiff like a fucking board and then fall over out of her chair? She's fainting goated on us, and she'll have to it'll wear off in a minute and she'll come back.
Yep. Just give her some chocolate, she'll be fine.
I feel like we need to introduce a fainting goat to the AI story.
Yes, it's a new character. With all like the 17 we introduced in this one.
We'll name it Finnegan, the fainting goat is what we'll name it.
I love it.
Then so we're gonna have Finnegan, the fainting goat, and then Jeremy the psychic cat. So they need to become best friends. They need to find each other in the next AI story and become best friends. And then every time Jeremy says something stupid, Finnegan seizes up and fucking falls over. Or every time Jeremy does psychic shit, it like fucks Finnegan up and he's like, oh god, not again, and just fucking falls over.
Or it's like that's the sense for danger. He's like a canary in a coal mine that just if danger's nearby, just fucking faints.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger, and then just fucking falls over. Oh my god, that's so good. Why didn't we just become like these people that just create these fucking random ass storylines for characters? Like, where we missed the bus on that job. Like, where is that job where you get to become a character? Yeah, like we need to be able to do this, and I guess we kind of are. Like, we are doing it. It's fine. But I am going to let everyone go because I do need to eat dinner, and my boss is calling me again. So yeah, I love everybody. All the socials, everywhere socials are platformed. We're at the NDC Podcast. Send us an email at the ndcpodcast@gmail.com. Go follow us on all of those things. Go find our page on YouTube. Smash that like button. Ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload from us. And then what else, Amanda? The Discord. Discord. Join the Discord. Join the Discord. I can't. Join the
Getting that time of
Discord.
night, folks.
It's free. There's no paid shit yet. We're not that cool. Join the Discord. Come hang out with us and Ray. Yeah. That's it. That's all I got. I love you.
That's it.
That's all, folks.
Wrote. I love you.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
I gotta find a stop button. Okay, guys. Bye.